Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. This is the Pete's Parlay for NFL Week 8, and last week I hit the parlay. I had a 5-teamer there, and so it was a nice win. I had a bunch of money lines where, if I had taken the spreads also covered as well. So it's kind of like I went to the club and scored with a 7.5, and then found out later that like a 9.2 also wanted to get with me, and I could have gotten that. But like normally, I go to the club and completely strike out. So I was happy to get a 7.5 at the time. Then finding out later that I could have got a 9.2, I'm like, well, I should still be happy, And I am. I'm happy that I got that one. Maybe if one of the money lines had lost on the spread, I still would have had a winner, and then I would have been like, all right, that was pretty smart that I took the money line. So maybe I could have the underdogs that I took also both won outright. So maybe I could have taken the spreads on the money line favorites and taken the money lines on the spread dogs, and that would be like some 9.8 wanted to get with me. So, whatever. It was a winner. I'm happy about it. This week I'm going to have 4 legs here. Sharp stuff from Brent. Houston -1.5. Sharps and the public all over that one. Sharps took it early. Public took it late. That's a tricky one. I'm not exactly sure what I think about that right now, but take it for what it's worth. Sharps also came in on Oakland +7 -105, and that was definitely a borderline one for me. I think I probably bet that a little. I will probably be betting that a little bit. Right now it's down to a 7 -120. Can't completely trust Oakland, but kind of liking that one, and that was a borderline pick for sure. Then from the cappers, another borderline one, New Orleans. Right now -2.5, -105 at BetDSI, and money lines -135. Justin Batt from IlluminatiSports.ca, who's had a great year with us so far, said he liked New Orleans -1. Indian Cowboy, who's been nailing these Sunday night games week in and week out, says he likes New Orleans -1, actually says he likes it a lot. And it's a counter Jeff Cadillac play. Jeff Cadillac likes Green Bay here. So this was a borderline pick. I probably am going to bet it. It probably does have some value. I just decided at the last minute not to include it in the parlay because, New Orleans looking so bad and old in so many ways. Green Bay looking solid. Who knows? Maybe Cadillac's right, and all the Cadillac faders are going to be screwed here. But, Justin Batt and Indian Cowboy both liking New Orleans -1, and they both gave very compelling reasons, and it was a very tempting thing to do. That was a borderline play. Then another borderline one that I didn't include, Sharps came in on Carolina +5.5, and I almost took Carolina +7 -145. That's probably the right side. Panthers just so banged up, right? They're missing both starting guards, another injury at running back. Seattle having all kinds of problems, but who knows? Maybe for this one game, and they'll get a little bit lucky. They'll go for the blowout, and I don't know. But the Sharps came in on Carolina +5.5, and I certainly agree with that one. Another borderline one was Tampa Bay, coming off the bye against relatively weak Minnesota. Troy West from allplayswin.com liked Tampa Bay there. I can certainly see that one -145. Just a little bit too rich considering what Tampa Bay is, but that was borderline. Almost included. And then a similar play, the Jets -3, money line -160. Joe Duffy previewed that game. He avoided a side. He took the over. Jeff Cadillac likes the Jets. I can certainly see that. And, it's just the Jets as a favorite of -160. It's just a little bit too borderline for me to want to include it. Okay, now to the 4 legs of the parlay this week. The first one, obvious, Indianapolis. Everyone is on Indianapolis, right? Of all the comments I've seen on YouTube, the professional handicappers I've talked to, everyone's on Indianapolis. I've seen one comment from a YouTube poster saying that he likes Pitt, and that's it. So, talking to Brent from BetDSI, there hasn't actually been sharp action on this game, but the Sharps bet Cincinnati against Indianapolis last week, and I was like, that's got to be wrong. It turned out, in retrospect, it probably was. All right, I'm going to take Indianapolis here. If I go down, everyone else will be going down too. And, 8-1 public will be going down at BetDSI. Right now they're -3.5, -105. Obviously the line's been creeping up a little bit. So I'm going to take Indianapolis on the money line, currently -180 at BetDSI. Next one I'm going to take, similar play, Detroit, -3.5 right now against Atlanta. I'm going to take the money line -190. It's a London game. It's an obvious play. Maybe we just don't want to overthink it, right? Is a change of scenery going to change something in Atlanta? Maybe. Are they going to come in and, surprise us all and suddenly protect the quarterback and, get pressure on Stafford? Maybe. Who knows? If that happens, I'll take a loss. But I'm going to take a shot with a money line at minus 190, and I previewed the game with Joe Duffy. He liked Detroit minus 3.5. No surprise there, so I'm going to take it. That's the second leg. Detroit minus 190 on the money line. Third leg is going to be Chicago, and Brent did tell me that that Sharps came in on Chicago plus 6.5 and plus 6, and that's no surprise there. He said that's probably the sharpest side of the week, according to him. I previewed the game with Joe Duffy. Joe Duffy liked Chicago at plus 6 as well. I bet it on the opener at plus, I think I bought it up to 7. It's tough to go against the Pats, Brady and Belichick when they have 10 days of rest or whatever it is, long week to prepare, but it is a big line. Hopefully the Bears will come in a little bit pissed off and at least keep close. That's going to be the third leg. And the fourth leg is going to be the Monday night game. Romo and the Cowboys as a home favorite, minus 10. Huge line. I know Washington sucks. That didn't get past me. Yes, Washington sucks. They have issues at quarterback, but it's a huge line, right? Right now, plus 10, minus 115 is available at BetDSI, and I just think, it's too big of a line. Dallas and Romo, I mean, look, even if they dominate the game by using like a running game, the back door's wide open. Maybe they'll dominate the game, but still not get a cover either by the back door or just run out the clock when they're up by like 8 or 9 or something like that. So I'm going to take Washington plus 10, minus 115 as the fourth leg on Monday night. So those are the 4 legs. Indianapolis minus 180. Detroit minus 190, Bears plus 7 minus 140, and Washington plus 10 minus 115. 4-teamer, 3s and 4s. I'm going to do it. That's a $20 base. That's $100 to win $419.92. And I think if just 3 win, maybe it loses a little bit. Should be all right. And that's the Pete's Parlay for NFL Week 8.